Hi, I'm Dr. John Anderson and I'm a dissertation supervisor. Perhaps after your lit review, or indeed after your methodology, you might think, okay, these are the questions, this is how I was going to set about, these are the methods I used to answer them, what did I find? That's what your analysis seeks to do, is to present your findings, not simply describe and present them in a neutral way, but comment on them. Again, it's useful to go back to thinking about, well, these effect will be 2 or 3 essay questions. And the essay titles will be the questions that I set out to answer in my dissertation. What did I want to find out about X, Y, and Z? What's the political significance of X, Y, and Z? There, they become the questions that you set yourself for these short essays. And then you think, okay, well, how do I go about writing these things? Think about your primary data, your secondary data, and indeed even the theory that you've used in your literature review, and try and mould them together into a coherent answer to that question. Imagine yourself as a chair conducting a focus group, or even on TV on a chat show, thinking you're the interviewee, you're the chairperson, and you're bringing in all these different points of view. You're bringing in the statistics, you're bringing in the interview quotations, you're bringing in the secondary data material, you're bringing in even some theory that helps you understand these different materials, and you're putting them in a coherent order around particular themes perhaps that link A, B, C together, and putting them together into a coherent essay argument. Then simply, after that, all those questions go together to answer all those materials go together to answer your first research question, and then your second one and your third one build on that in a logical progression. So your argument builds from one block to the next block to the next block. So when you're thinking about writing up your empirical chapters and doing your analysis, again, think about all the lessons that you've learned from writing your essays in your first and your second year. When you write an essay, you might introduce it in a particular way. You might use a quotation to evidence the point you want to make. You might disaggregate that quotation and put it into your own words and say, to me, what's really important about this quotation is X, Y, and Z, and explain that to the reader so they're left in no doubt about why you think that's interesting for your work. It's no different when approaching your analysis, except you're drawing on different types of material. You might be using primary evidence from an interview that you conducted. Students might think, how do I use that primary evidence? Well, use it exactly the same way as if it was a quotation from a journal paper or from a textbook or from indeed another form of secondary data. So what you're really doing is assembling together all these different forms of material, the primary, the secondary, theory if necessary, to bring it all together to help you tell the reader your understanding of the geographical phenomena you're looking into. Okay, there's lots of online resources that the school has put together. These can be found on 2 websites. One of them is the CPlan digital website that can be found through the department homepage, which has lots of podcasts on plagiarism and critical analysis that students might find quite useful. More specifically, through the Spatial Manifesto website, there's lots of podcasts about methodology to help students prepare their methodology before they go out into the field, but also, and perhaps primarily, to help them think about how they're writing up their methodology when they come back for their dissertations in the autumn.